My name is Emma. I'm originally from the UK, but I've been living in France for the last 9 years. I'm a teacher. I would say that it's just a real treat, a real surprise. It just has, it's something that you thought you didn't need. For me, it's something I thought I didn't need, but in fact has been so useful in my life over the last 9 months, and something that will stay with me, I think, for near and maybe distant future. It's Mumi from the start who encourages us to engage. And I'd say that if somebody wants to join the Female Inner Power Club, that the way to get the most out of it, as Mumi says, is to step into the circle and embrace the connections. I mean, I'm not a very Facebook person, but having the online Facebook group, actually, it became a really safe space in which to share and to brag and to celebrate our achievements. And now I feel like I've got 25 extra friends because it sparked the live calls are always so uplifting. They're absolutely wonderful. And then they've branched off into little subgroups. So I've now got my mini female inner power groups that we catch up every month or two, and it engages us in a different level of communication that I hadn't really experienced before. Even with friends who I joined up with, we now communicate on a kind of a really different level. I found out about Mumi's work at just the perfect time. I had a friend who had been signed up to the mastermind course with Mumi, and she had been raving about this wonderful Danish woman called Mumi. At the same time, I'd given myself a self-imposed deadline for changing my career in certain ways, and I was on the path already in this big change in my life. And I signed up, prompting my friend, I signed up to Mumi's free workshop. I think it was called Plan 2021 for Female Inner Power. I was intrigued and something really spoke to me from that I said to sign up and try it out. A lot has changed. I'd say that, well, the Female Inner Power Club did exactly what I was hoping it to do. I had this big change to come, and it really kind of accompanied me through this change. It accompanied me by having the online resources that were there, but it also, the circle, the connections that I made through it were there, and they, through various stages, I was able to identify what I really wanted, and I managed to get it, which has just been an incredible kind of transformation. In fact, it's been very worthwhile. One module, I think, that was the real kind of wow moment for me. Even though I'd engaged in everything, I've been listening to things, I learned a lot about intuition and guidance. But the resource made a big difference for me was the one on potency, about how you can concentrate more of yourself into what you do, and really, but it's also about accepting maybe the things that you don't like so much about yourself, but then concentrating the ones that what you have to give to the world, and that really made a big impact on me. And then something which goes with that is the taking action from the Female Inner Power, because thanks to that, I one day decided that I was going to take action, and I sent out some emails, I updated my LinkedIn profile, I'd worked out what I want, I got in contact with somebody, and I managed to get a really great job. So it completely more in line with my values, and so that was a really big thing for me. The other modules that maybe have less of an impact, or maybe have a more of a slow burning impact, is all the modules on calm from the inside out. I've discovered new things like tapping. I occasionally do some journaling, which I didn't feel I had time for before. And I will often just listen to the audios when I just need a little boost. I find that it really just gives me that little boost, and it's extremely accessible. It's really taught me to look at myself differently, to value myself, to value my skills, who I am, value all of me, the good things and the less good things, and kind of gives me, yeah, it's given me energy and confidence. I thought I was a confident person before, but I had a lot of self-doubt. And now, even though when the self-doubt comes up, I can say, okay, I don't need to do that to myself. And I have tools, I have a whole toolkit of things, and a support network that I can talk to. I can access the resources, or I can talk to my new friends about these things. So it has really made a really big impact. That it can be very transformative. I think that if you are open to new experiences, that you're willing to maybe go outside, it's not outside of your comfort zone, but to maybe go and say things out loud that you might not have ever said before, or to admit things to yourself, or to if you're willing to do that, you're willing to make connections, willing to share, I think you can get an awful lot out of it. I had been worried before I signed on as well, before I signed up. I was worried that I don't have time for another online course. I really thought that was my initial thought. But the fact that it's so enjoyable, and the fact that it's so accessible, you can listen to the audios when you're out for a run, when you're doing the washing up, and it's really, yeah, I think that you're really able to make the most out of it. Doesn't make it's effortless, in fact, if you have that open mind to it.